The world is watching how this war unfolds between Russia and Ukraine, but depending on where you live, you might be seeing it through a different lens. For the last week, we've been reporting from basically a Western perception, with countries condemning Russia's attacks. But we want to turn to the Kremlin and see how their propaganda, how their coverage compares with what we're seeing here in the West. So joining us is a senior fellow at the Center for International Governance and Innovation, Wesley Wark. Welcome to your morning.
Good morning. Nice to talk to you, Anne-Marie.
If we were watching the news of invasion of Ukraine in Russia, what would we be seeing? How would it be packaged?
So you'd be seeing something completely different. That is, at least those Russian viewers who are dependent on TV, which tends to be the older generation, the more rural population. So there are, obviously differences in how people are consuming the news. But the Putin regime, I think it's fair to say, is allergic to the truth about its invasion of Ukraine. They have insisted that all media in Russia report it as a special military operation. They are telling certain stories about the war in Ukraine, which focus on Russian military successes, no account of Ukrainian resistance, although the Russians have, just as of today, released their first casualty figures, which are no doubt gross underestimates from the conflict in Ukraine. They're making accusations, for example, that the Ukrainians are involved in war crimes, in particular by using women and children as human shields. They're focusing really, to the extent that they're talking about military operations, they're really focusing on operations on the east to try and sell to Russian citizens that this is really just a liberation effort to free the populations in the eastern provinces, some of which have been engaged in a kind of separatist insurgency for a long time. So it's a very distorted, very unreal picture of the war. But it's also important, I think, to say that I think the Putin regime is very nervous about its ability to control the news. It only has one front left that it can be successful in its propaganda war, and that's the home front. It's lost the propaganda war with regard to Ukraine and how Ukrainians are seeing this war. It's lost it with regard to the international community, and remarkable vote in the UN General Assembly on a motion that denounced the Russian invasion, in which there were only 5 countries that voted against the motion. 2 of those were Russia and Belarus. The other were Syria, North Korea, and Eritrea. Well, those are Russia's friends remaining in the world. So the Putin regime really has to try and hold on to control of the information war within its domestic space, but it may not be successful in doing that.
Yeah, how is the Russian government trying to rally support in light of everything that of all the resistance that's coming, both internationally and on the ground in Ukraine?
Well, as I say, Anne-Marie, I think they've recognized that it's pretty futile to try and continue their effort in terms of targeting audiences outside Russia. They're not going to win any friends in Ukraine. They're not going to win any friends in the international community. Russia is good, of course, at disinformation, and as one of your previous reporters noted, there would be lots of disinformation efforts swirling around to try and confuse people about what's really going on in Ukraine. But it's essential to the Putin regime that it maintains some kind of popular support for its war in Ukraine, in its own home country. And if it loses that support, it's in potential existential danger in a way it's never been before.
Wesley Wark, I want to thank you for joining us in your morning. We're going to take a quick.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.